You know, in the last 6 years, I kind of really thought that I saw just about everything in the stock market. I got into the stock market during March of 2020, the great Rona crash. I made it out of 2022, which was descending earnings of all the major companies in the world. Made it past 2025 Liberation Day, and I'm going to make it out just like many of you all this year, flying high. But this is a new one, a very, very new one. I have yet to see a president of the United States of America actually buy individual companies' stock that I own. It's pretty remarkable. Now, of course, I wasn't really in during like 2017, 18, and 19, Donald Trump's first term. During Joe Biden, I don't believe that Joe Biden really bought like any individual stock or really disclosed any of his buys. But this came out about 23 hours ago. Amit Investing. Amit is a very well-known Palantir bull, fintech bull. Also very big on social media, X, and also YouTube as well. And he ended up posting this on his X page. President Trump just submitted his stock purchases / sales to the White House Office of Ethics. The document is over 100 pages and has thousands of trades. Wow, you're talking about a president actually making trades in the market on individual stocks? That's definitely very bullish. I mean, even if he is theoretically like maybe trading in and out of stocks, still though, a president that is very much buying stocks at individual companies and not just leaving his money in treasury bonds. Because and by the way, if you are new here, welcome. I put out videos every Monday through Friday. This YouTube channel is still relatively new, so if you enjoy my content, smash the like button and subscribe for more, entirely free. But when you have an extraordinary amount of wealth, an extraordinary amount of money, where are you going to put your money not to lose to necessarily inflation? Well, you're going to theoretically put it into treasury bonds. And if you notice that, hey, treasury bonds are not producing, or the interest or the yield is not really doing well, then you're going to be moving it over into stocks, okay? I got to make a separate video talking about the bear and bull case, because a lot of people that are very bearish in the stock market that are very much multi-millionaires, I'm talking about very, very, very wealthy people, okay? People that have like extraordinary amount of like cash. Are you just going to leave all that cash in a savings account or checking account? You would be a dumbass, because you would be losing to inflation. Imagine if you had $200 million, maybe $1 billion. If you put that into a savings account, sure. I mean, SoFi's savings account is very high. I believe it's like 4.2%. Very, very high return. You could theoretically put it into a CD. You could theoretically put it in treasury bonds. But overall, the main goal is to beat inflation. And if you leave your money just stagnated for a while, you're not really going to beat inflation. So you're going to have to put money into stocks, real estate, profitable businesses. You just can't hoard cash, okay? I hoarded cash all throughout my 20s. I'm about to be 38 now. And I mean, I theoretically lost to inflation all throughout my friggin' 20s. I got into the market when I was 31 years old. Should have got into the market the day I was 19 years old. So, hey, you live and learn, right? But there are people that never get into the market. Let that sink in. Anyways, President Trump, Palantir, Hood, Nvidia, SoFi, Microsoft, Apple, Disney, Visa, Ultra Beauty, JPM, Coinbase, Lyft, Amazon. Okay, let's go ahead and dissect each and every single one here. Here is another headlines as well for Donald Trump's buys. Trump pivots from bonds to buying hundreds of individual corporate stocks, and also some negative headlines as well, too. Misses deadline to disclose tens of millions of dollars in trade deals. Not really going to comment on that, but I will comment on this. So, why did he, like, go ahead and buy a lot of these names? Well, one, obviously, Donald Trump is very forward-thinking, like anyone else out there, and Palantir is thriving. Robinhood is going to be thriving as the market pretty much turns risk on again. Palantir, I am long. Hood, I am long. I'm not long NVIDIA, but I am long AMD, so obviously Donald Trump bought the top semi stock, which is NVIDIA, and also Jensen. It was with him at the China summit, which is pretty much concluded now. So theoretically, I am in semis by being a AMD bull. SoFi, obviously, I'm a friggin' SoFi bull. Oh yes indeedy. Microsoft, I am a Adobe. Also, what other? ServiceNow. So I'm in software. Obviously, Microsoft is the top dog of software. Apple. So I've never been in Apple before. I honestly don't have any interest in being in Apple, but obviously Tim Cook being at the White House, Tim Cook being in China, I think a lot of great things are coming for Apple stock in the next couple of years. Could Apple theoretically double in the next couple of years? Honestly, Apple is very, very... They're like the hidden one out of the magnificent stocks, because you pretty much got Amazon, Google, and Meta spending a tremendous amount of money on CapEx that is going to obviously NVIDIA, AMD, the chip companies. But I really feel that Apple is going to shock a lot of people. Am I willing to take that chance on Apple? I see better opportunities to be perfectly honest. But I mean, hey, Apple, great company. I got a friggin' iPhone right here. I'm always going to be an iPhone buyer. Disney, that's a shocker, but that also goes to the economy, I believe. Visa, I mean, Americans are gonna always be spending money, let alone take out debt. Ultra Beauty is with a, that is cosmetic. That is the economy. I believe Ultra Beauty might actually be the biggest cosmetic company out there. Don't quote me on that. Hold on. I'm looking up Ultra Beauty on let's see. Market cap 21 billion. Is Ultra Beauty the highest cosmetic company? I'm not really a big like knowledge base around cosmetic company. I primarily dabble in tech related stocks. Ultra Beauty is the highest largest beauty cosmetic in the world. I don't know how accurate this is. Okay, maybe I'm looking at something inaccurate, but still, Ultra Beauty. A lot of my ex-girlfriends, they shopped at Ultra Beauty's cosmetics. Another popular one too is Elf. That's a pretty popular cosmetic one as well. But still, it's based on economy and also consumer-driven stocks. JPM, obviously the banking sector, that is the same thing about SoFi. Coinbase ties in with crypto, ties in with Robinhood as well. Lyft is also pretty much ties in with the consumer. Lyft is kind of interesting though, because it kind of makes me wonder as why Donald Trump would actually choose. And obviously Amazon is utterly just amazing. So Donald Trump bought SoFi yesterday among many of my stocks. And why are we not squeezing? Like, you gotta ask yourself, the president of the United States of America just literally bought, like practically, I want to say, on this YouTube channel, I have a brokerage app dedicated to this YouTube channel, and all my stocks that I own, SoFi, AMD, Adobe, Hood, Palantir, Meta, PayPal, ServiceNow, I might be adding one or two more in the future. And it's like, what the hell is going on? SoFi was up 5% yesterday, and we just completely gave that away. Robinhood was up 5% yesterday. We gave that away. AMD is experiencing a good-sized pullback right now, but still very bullish. What is going on? Well, something to really consider here that is going on. Please ignore the advertisements. Let's see. Strained by tech pullback and yields spike. Okay, so pretty much stocks fell Friday, loss of technology stocks, U.S. Treasury yields. Yields on the 10-year is definitely going up. That is extremely bearish. But at the same time, this could very much be, once again, just a temporary pullback, a temporary move. I mean, every single thing is pretty much just very aligning to very bullish, like, the second half of this year. Obviously, the chip spending is unfriggin' believable. That's not going to go away. Okay, you got the biggest companies in the world spending billions and billions of dollars. I believe if you were to take the top companies in the world, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google, I believe it's like $650 billion going to the chips and memory companies. $650 billion. That is almost as much money as the U.S. government spends on the Department of Defense, aka the Pentagon, for spending. That is unfriggin' believable. And you want to know the crazy thing about it? Maybe next year the amount of money could be closer to $1 trillion on CapEx spending. That is crazy. The AI build-out is literally not going away anytime soon. So, what is happening right now, honestly, in my opinion, it's nothing more than a healthy pullback. It does add frustration to anyone that is, one, gambling on SoFi. If you're gambling on SoFi, you could very well get your shit pushed in, but at the same time, you can make a lot of money. And the reason why is because, one, this stock moves like that. SoFi moves like a semiconductor stock that moves very quickly. Semiconductor stocks move like penny stocks. Penny stocks move extremely quickly. Semis move very quickly. SoFi has been shown to move very, very quickly. You can make a lot of money if you want to gamble. Do I gamble on SoFi? No, I take a long position because I see the future here. And if I'm wrong about something regarding SoFi, I don't give a shit. I'm a long-term investor. Like, it's okay. Theoretically, I was wrong about SoFi multiple times this year. And do you know what being wrong has done for me? I've increased my shares. Substantially increased my shares by thousands of dollars. So, I mean, okay, I don't really think necessarily it's a bad thing to be wrong here, especially if you're a long-term holder, but obviously if you're a short-term holder, it begs to differ. But the fact that our president, whether you like the guy or not, I missed out on the Pelosi crime family back in 22 when Pelosi bought into Nvidia. I did trade Nvidia upward. I didn't take a long position, but I was a trader of Nvidia, and I made a decent amount of money. Tens of thousands of dollars worth of profits. If I had taken a long position, like the Pelosi family did, I would have made well over six figures, which is life-changing money. You live and learn. But hey, I had a strategy. My strategy was I was going to trade Nvidia, and I did. My strategy with SoFi is that, hey, I'm taking a long position on this one. Very much a long position. I'm not gonna screw around and kind of find out. No. I'm taking a long position because I see the future of SoFi, and I see the future that our new Fed governor is going to ultimately cut rates, not aggressively, but he's just gonna nibble on some rate cuts here and there. Okay? I personally believe that we could still see 2 rate cuts for 2026. And if that's the case, well, water cheers. My allergies are actually really good. I did a detox of my house yesterday. Aired out, opened all my windows, aired everything out. Does work. If anyone suffers from allergies, you got to do a house detox once in a while. But anyways, the thing about it is that you literally have the top person that picked the Fed governor, and he ended up buying like multiple ones of my positions, which is just absolutely crazy. I sleep very well. I get about a solid 7, trying to get a little more than 7 hours of sleep per night. I slept like a baby last night. I'm going to sleep like a baby tonight. And the reason being is because I feel secure with my investments and with my capital. And that's really what it all comes down to. I'm going to be showing my public profile on this YouTube channel right now. I'm basically doing a public account challenge. I'm taking this sum of money to 6 figures in the course of 17 months. The account challenge started January of this year, and it's going up until May of next year. Obviously, if I don't get to 6 figures, well, that probably means something were to probably happen in the overall economy, or maybe the AI trade. But I sleep just fine. I really do. Yesterday, AMD obviously was closer to $20,000. I'm down on this account, over $1,000 now. On my private account, I own, it's on, whenever I make moves on this account, I do make the same on my private account as well, too. And my private account is definitely down more today than it is on this account, and I'm going to sleep like a friggin' baby tonight. And the reason being is because, one, I'm very secure with my positions, very secure with my overall long-term, short-term positions, and my capital, I feel, is very much safe. If you are having anxiety about the stock market, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is really common sense. You're over-leveraged, you're in stocks that you don't want to be in for the long term, and maybe you got to rethink your strategies if you are a long-term shareholder, short-term, or maybe if you're just looking to make a quick buck. Because obviously, if you are in like a position like, for example, Robinhood, I'm down 16%. Adobe, I'm down 15%. Palantir, 12%. PayPal, I'm down 20%. You could very well be feeling a lot of anxiety. And it's very unfortunate because people feel... People get a lot of anxiety when they've been in the when they are in the market, and I've been there. A lot of my anxiety in the market came during 2023. 2023, for me, it was a very bad year. I was actually negative that year. I closed in the red because I accumulated so many losses. And what made me take losses because I was in the friggin' penny stock market. I was taking long positions on friggin' penny stocks, right? This account is a risk-on account, but it's orientated towards where the money is going. The money in the market is going to AMD. The money in the market, big money, is going to come back to SoFi. And as soon as SoFi basically pretty much gets clarity about rate cuts, and as soon as the new Fed governor gives us a lot more guidance, SoFi is going to be back over $25 like that. Like that, snap of a fingers. Adobe and software, people are going to realize that software is a safe haven, as always, and this AI build-out is honestly just going to strengthen software even more, so that's going to flip very quickly as well, too. The only one on here, realistically, is very questionable, is obviously Meta and PayPal. If Meta continues to keep spending, they can very much go back down to $400. Maybe I'll buy some more shares then. PayPal is a different story as in entirety, but at the same time, my Meta position and PayPal position is very tiny. So the fact that Donald Trump bought SoFi, which is the second largest stock on this profile, and also Palantir and Hood, oh man, I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. But on a closing note to really wrap up today's video, regarding SoFi of what is really going on with the stock is really stuck right now on just really negative sentiment around rate cuts and the Federal Reserve and pretty much like inflation. As soon as all that becomes one more clear and we really start getting the new Fed governor to do a lot of speeches, which he is now confirmed, and I believe today he's honestly even going to talk a little bit, it's going to be unbelievable. And I personally really believe that this Fed governor is going to come in and be like, hey, we really see this inflation kind of really being temporary. And yeah, later this year we can definitely do something, and we're not going to do anything for rate hikes. It doesn't make any sense as to why a rate hike would happen, even though the market is now pricing in a rate hike. A lot of people have inflation PTSD, and that's really what it comes down to. So many people are saying this is like 2022. This is not like 2022. I was in the friggin' market in 2022, and I was watching everything just like I am now. 2022, we had descending revenue growth and earnings and super high inflation. That is catastrophic, okay? Right now, we have somewhat of inflation, okay? Temporary because of oil and the Iran issues. Once that concludes, that goes away. It's that simple. But I really don't. I mean, it would be a shell shocker if the Federal Reserve does raise rates, and I mean that's going to be a slap in Donald Trump's face since he picked the new Fed governor. But I mean, theoretically, hey, Iran did kick off because Donald Trump wanted it to, so ultimately that would be a double slap in his face too. But on a super closing note, SoFi shareholders, Palantir, Robinhood, literally unbelievable that it's unbelievable that a U.S. president actually bought like my companies and your companies, especially if you are in these stocks. So I'll see you all on Monday with a new video. Have a great weekend. Take it easy, everyone, and later.